sea. More world, more future. From a land that looks to the ocean as a fundamental of its identity, we see more world, more future. 500 years ago, a great adventure began, led by the Portuguese navigator Ferdinand Magellan. Portugal and Spain disputed the sea routes in search of the richest of distant lands. This search was only possible with the contribution of various knowledges and the courage of the sailors of the caravels. The Portuguese were at the center of the knowledge of marine science innovation. The first voyage of circumnavigation, initiated by Magellan and completed by Elcano, included men of more than 10 nationalities, a milestone in the history of mankind, which has given us a new vision of the oceans. The ocean became a trace of identity for Portugal that kept its strong connection to the knowledge of the seas over the centuries. Following some major ocean explorations, in the 19th century, King Carlos I promoted several oceanographic scientific expeditions. The Portuguese fleet developed the economy in the campaigns of cod near the Arctic. In 1956, Mario Ruivo plunged in a bat escape to more than 2,000 meters off Cabo de Roca, being one of the pioneers on the discovery of the deep sea. In 1960, science revealed the secrets of the ocean for Magellan, proving in a definite way that all oceans are, in the end, a single one, the sea that makes our blue planet. The ocean world. An ocean world, a resource for humanity, only possible to manage together. A common ocean governance based on solid scientific knowledge, always with the aim of a sustainable use of the ocean, involving high-level representatives from national and international organizations and NGOs agreeing in the good practices and realities of cooperation for practical solutions. For this will all need concrete, environmental friendly actions and mechanisms. Data sharing for mapping, monitor and understand the ocean and its evolution. Blue ocean technologies, fostering innovation as a structural element. Dedicated financing mechanisms for innovative and sustainable business, giving rise to international ocean innovation platforms. Blue startups to develop dedicated blue business models. It's the only solution to preserve the ocean as the common heritage of mankind. There's no plan B for our planet. And we can all see the urgent signs in several points around the globe. The impact on the small island developing states for their specific vulnerabilities show us the challenges and dangers we are facing globally. It's up to us to find new ways to solve this common problem if we want to have an ocean and a planet as a legacy for the coming generations. More sea, more world, more future.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your kind invitation and congratulations to the CIESM on the organization and success of this important international congress. 500 years ago, in 1519, the Portuguese navigator Magellan, 260 his men, and a fleet of 5 ships started under his command one of the most extraordinary nautical expeditions in history. which would be the first circumnavigation of the planet. This endeavor demonstrated that the connections between the oceans was a reality and proved that the world was spherical and, among many other things, that after all, the planet Earth is mostly a sea world, a world of natural diversity, a world of human diversity, a home, the house of the humanity. In 2019, this daring expedition, its innovative character, its importance in the different dimensions of knowledge, is at the basis of the celebrations of the 500 years of the circumnavigation. The truth is that this extraordinary maritime trip, which defined the first universal and global route, and on the NASA vision, the first orbit to the planet oceans, but doesn't not happen by chance. It happens because it's relied on knowledge without prejudices, on the specific curiosity of the collective work without frontiers, a path that allows us to build the human universe in its diversity. That is why we want that these celebrations occurring between 2019 and 2022 to be more than just the commemoration of this event. In fact, they have to promote a larger analysis on the first global visions of the world, projecting it into the present and especially into the future. We want to remember Magellan as a pioneer and builder of the global world that we know today. And to revisit his actions is, besides the historical and cultural responsibility, an opportunity for a broader analysis of pressing issues like the causes and effects of climate change, the huge asymmetries that characterize the current globalization of the economy and markets, the inequality and various contexts of social and cultural exclusion in the world. We firmly believe that the voyage of Magellan and Elcano is the birthplace of the global world, the rules of the navigation of our days. From this benchmark, the Interministerial Commission created by the Portuguese government to organize and coordinate the national celebrations of the first trip around the world defined a strategic matrix for celebration programming, an open and participated program having as cross-cutting values the enhancement of knowledges, the networks of cooperation, and the oceans and its sustainability. Changes is in line with the 17 goals of our sustainability development of the United Nations to 2013 agenda. In terms of the action model, we intend the celebration program to be organized in a flexible, shared, open and participatory way in which the National Commission takes a role of the open operating system, promoting a movement of collaboration, joint responsibility and collective of the celebrations with the involvement of the higher education institutions, scientific institutions, local authorities, other public and private entities of the different ranges of the society at the local, regional, national, and international level. For that, we have structured a program matrix in 3 axes and 11 programmatic lines: the axis of knowledge, the axis of the economy, and the axis of the cooperation. About the axis of the knowledge is structured in 4 programmatic lines: education, research and science, cultural, and environment. Let me highlight some anchor projects like the worldwide network about Magellan universities, which bring together 18 universities from 10 countries and 4 continents to organize and share knowledges involving people in general, the communities, and especially our young people. Related to this network is also the preparation essential scientific contributions to the submission to the indicative list of UNESCO of the route Magellan and Elcano fast around the world as a patrimony of mankind. The celebration program will give great importance to the sustainability of the ocean, the sea, the marine ecosystems, and maritime cultural heritage. As an example, there are several projects in the area, such as fishing for the whiteout litter, monitoring and cleaning marine litter, scientific cruise, Magellan technology innovations, ocean literacy on the route of Magellan cities, including a partnership celebrated with the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission to promote ocean literacy and the objectives of the decade in 2021 in the context of the events associated with commemorations of the circumnavigation voyage throughout the actions that will occur in all port calls of the Portuguese Navy School Ship Sagres expedition all over the world, fostering an important dynamic of global cooperation based in solid scientific knowledge for sustainability. As a starting point, we have already organized more than 400 national and international projects and actions intending to promote multiplying effects in society, which is fundamental so that the appropriation of the celebration is felt with the involvement of everyone in a process extend to all the territories. I conclude by recalling that celebrating Magellan and Elcano and revisiting its expedition is an opportunity to think about the present and to the future. And in the future, what challenges and roads to be followed? What seas and oceans we want to navigate? It's our belief that the legacy of the Portuguese navigator endures around the world. Today, as of 5 centuries ago, Portugal is a country of the sea, European and open to the world, navigating throughout the new frontiers of knowledge and cooperation. Portugal was a global perspective in which today, as 5 centuries ago, the ocean, the Magellan Ocean, that united as whole, is a priority strategic goal from Portugal, a priority strategic goal to the world. I conclude by sharing the testimony of the James Garvin, NASA chief scientist, in challenging the new frontiers of knowledge and the oceans and space exploration. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
The Portuguese explorer Magellan left his legacy in the first circumnavigation of planet Earth, our first orbital experience of our home planet. And today, looking forward 500 years from that first voyage, we see the expanse of space, the cosmic ocean that we've since conquered. And today, as we look forward beyond the legacy of Magellan, we can see where we'll go in the next 500 years, into that forever frontier. Earth, the ocean planet. The Portuguese explorer Magellan gave us the first orbit of our home planet 500 years ago. Today we see Earth through new eyes, satellite views that show us the Earth's oceans that Magellan experienced himself from space. Little did he know. As he sailed the oceans, we can look forward 500 years to the cosmic oceans that today we sail. Magellan's ships carried him around our Earth at a time when it was unimaginable. Now his legacy lives on in space through spacecraft named for Magellan, who set sail from the space shuttle 30 years ago to map our sister planet Venus, in all of its glory, perhaps a former ocean world, as was Earth. The cosmic ocean calls us every night across the Milky Way into the space we now experience through the eyes of the Hubble Space Telescope and beyond. This cosmic ocean is a forever frontier for humanity, and it lives on in the record of space exploration. 50 years ago, we explored space from beyond Earth at the Moon, as the voyages of Project Apollo gave us Earthrise. You see our ocean world from the landscapes and the barren landscapes of our nearest neighbor, the Moon, where its seas are frozen in rock. Today, through spacecraft known as the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, we can see the Moon up close as if we were there, flying over its surface. We can also imagine living with a star, our planet Sun. This sun drives the energy of our solar system, and it shows us what other stars are like. Today, we've set sail to get to know the sun even better through a mission known as the Parker Solar Probe, because the sun's energy drives the circulation of our oceans and our planet. We move on to Venus, our sister world, where the spacecraft Magellan gave us the views that carry our imagination to the cosmic oceans of this world, where we believe its oceans were lost in time billions of years ago. And from Venus on to the planet Mars, where we ask the tough questions. Are we alone? Is this a place we're going? And on Mars, we know the record of water is lurking in the rocks, in its climate history, and we look beneath its landscapes into the story of those rocks from the voyages of spacecraft known as Curiosity, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. These spacecraft show us the rockscapes, where the record of the oceans and the seas and the lakes of Mars is written in the stones of time. So from Mars we can see also the record of water in planets like Jupiter, where its beautiful systems of clouds and circulation can be captured with spacecraft through the mind's eyes of humanity. We move on to the beautiful planet known as Saturn, where when we see Earth at the scale of Saturn, we imagine how small we are in that cosmic ocean. And from Saturn, we can look at its largest moon, Titan, where oceans exist, but not of water. Little did Magellan know that these other worlds, ocean worlds, would harbor different kinds of fluids. Today, the ocean universe is dramatic. We see it even at the planet known as Pluto, now a dwarf world, but still in its landscapes, the magic of what an ocean world might have looked like beyond Earth. And this gives us the views that we can expect of oceanic worlds around other stars, light years away, unseen by humanity, but our visioneering of them, carried by the grand telescopes in space, takes us there, extends our presence. Hubble, and next up is the James Webb Space Telescope. A cosmic voyager like Magellan, launching in 2021, it'll extend our imagination to those worlds and the bigger cosmic ocean landscapes that we can only see in our mind's eye. And back home to Earth. The Earth that Magellan experienced can be now experienced from space in the same way that Magellan experienced sailing it. From the record of biology on Earth and circulation and energy, we can come home to the Iberian Peninsula, where Magellan set sail 500 years ago. And today, thanks to José Marques and his team, we commemorate the 500th anniversary of our oceanic exploration that carries us forward today to the exploration of deep space, the forever frontier. Thanks to you, Magellan. We're there.